Hey there, Earl here. Before I proceed to the disassembly part, I just wanted to put this into context, but if you're not interested in hearing that, you can go ahead and skip to the disassembly part, which is at this timestamp. Okay, so last year I posted a 4th year review of my Logi M720 mouse, and it's amazing, I love it. However, just recently, a few months after its 5th year with me, the left click started to malfunction, so it would sometimes double click when I click something. It would sometimes let go when I drag something, which is really annoying, especially when I'm designing because that requires me to drag a lot. So me being me, I decided to fix it instead of buying a new mouse because frankly, it's the only problem with this mouse, even after 5 years of everyday usage, which is incredible. All the good stuff that I mentioned in that review still holds true. It's reliable, it's solid, and generally an amazing value for the money. By the way, I did replace the AA alkaline battery with a lithium AA battery to address my concern on weight and make it a little lighter. Anyway, so to fix it, we have to replace the micro switches. For $3, I got this pack of 5 Omron D2FC-F-7N micro switches, which is the same switch that came with the M720. I'll put a link to these micro switches on the description box in case you need to buy one. We then desoldered the old switches, then put in the new one. I did the disassembly, but I took it to a professional for the solder and desolder stuff, just to make sure. So that being said, let's go ahead and disassemble this thing. Alright, so let's start by removing the back cover and battery. There are actually 5 screws that you need to remove to open this mouse. 1 here, here, 2 here, and 1 here hidden behind the sticker. So let's begin by heating the adhesive on this arrow-shaped skate which covers the 2 screws. Pro tip, put hot water on a mug and press that against the arrow-shaped skate. It's much easier and more accessible than the common advice of using a hair blow dryer. Now that the adhesive is heated, it should be easy to remove. Get a wide spudger and carefully insert that in between the adhesive and the mouse shell. Be careful not to insert it between the adhesive and the skate as that might damage the skate. The 2 screws are actually near the left and right tip of the arrow, so you don't have to remove the entire thing. Just remove a bit until the part that covers the screw. Then let's proceed and remove the 2 screws before the skate rolls back into its position. Then let's go ahead and remove the other 2 visible screws. And lastly, the challenging one. Get a spudger and peel a little bit of the sticker until you have enough area to grip. I have small fingers, but it was difficult to grip the sticker, so if you have big fingers or thumb, then you might want to use a tool here. The screw is actually near the bottom, but I ended up peeling most of the sticker because it's hard to peel just the bottom area. Then finally, we can remove the screw. Then slowly and carefully crack the mouse open. Note that you actually don't need to use force here. Be careful because there's a cable connecting the board to the top shell. Once you have it open, use a fine tip spudger to flip the lock open and release the ribbon cable. And now we're in. Just to show you, this is the faulty micro switch, that's the left click. But since we're here, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace both. Now, things get a little tricky starting here, so pay attention. Alright, so next step is to remove the pin that's holding the scroll wheel. To do that, just carefully pull it out to the side or push it out from the other side. Once that's done, we can go ahead and lift the scroll wheel from its socket. Now be careful as there are 2 tiny springs whose job is to push the scroll wheel up. It's really tiny, so remove it and safely set it aside. Next step is to remove the 2 screws that holds the scroll wheel base, then slowly lift it up. Next, remove the remaining 4 screws holding the PCB to the shell. There's a tricky one to remove behind the small PCB here at the side, so watch out for that. Once that's done, you can now lift the PCB starting at the micro switch area. Okay, so now we have full access to the PCB and the micro switches. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I opted to seek help for the desolder and solder part, so I wasn't able to get that on video. But in case you're curious about the cost, he asked for $2 for that service, which I think is really cheap because I was expecting $5 or more. So I give it 4 instead for not ripping me off. By the way, I'm in Cebu, Philippines. I just convert stuff to US dollars to make it easier for everyone. And that's it. I hope this was helpful. If it was, give it a like so others can easily find it. If you loved it, consider subscribing for more. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.